this is part of, is it part of, you know, a carryover in sort of getting it right and doing the legalistically correct thing, and then going forward in subsequent years, now that we sort of would have settled into a January to December cycle, we won't have this kind of a situation. Is that really all that it's all about?
You used one word there, carryover. I don't know whether you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, you used one word there, carryover, and I just keyed into it. You know, when we are in school, in university, that word carryover is a very difficult word. Because whenever you hear carryover, it means that student have not performed very well.
Oh dear. You know, that's not the sense in which I meant it. but please, you could even go back further to when you're doing your arithmetic sums and when you carry over one and then you add it later on. But what you said you keyed into it. What was the significance of that?
Why I keyed into it is because the federal government have decided to carry over 70% of the capital budget provided for in 2025 budget to 2026. And make no mistake, when we hear 70%, people think, 70% is a big number. 70% of the budget, of the capital budget, is just a huge sum. It's just a huge sum. In 2025, the total capital budget was about 30% or a little bit below 30% of the 54 trillion approved. You know, out of that 30%, only 9% of that budget was being implemented in 2025. Then the remaining 21% is moved into 2026. Let's not confuse people that are not very good with numbers.
Really? Yeah. It's important. You're right. You're very right. Because we just see all these trillions upon trillions upon trillions, and we're wondering, so what's this all about? But here you are explaining this situation. That's why for me, you on.
You know, and the normal layman implication for me here is that virtually we're using 24 months to implement capital budget meant for 12 months. We're using 2 years to implement budget that should have been implemented in 1 year. That is just what it means.
Because you made the point earlier.
2 years to read a class or to pass an exam, you would have passed in 1 year. That is the layman's understanding of this.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That is that the road that would have been constructed within 12 months, the dam that would have been built within 12 months, the office premises that would have been built, the hospital that would have been built and refurbished within 12 months, we will now be extended to 24 months. And I'm saying that why the accounting principles, the legal principles we are trying to safeguard is fine for the optics. The actual implication of the economy is not that welcoming. It's not that positive.
Okay.
It's not that positive. I don't know why this is being done, because the federal government have financial challenge implementing the capital budget or technical challenge implementing the technical budget. And that is why analysts have said that they need to hear more from the federal government what happened. You know, and where we can hear more what happened is to see the budget implementation report, the quarterly budget implementation report, supposed to be released by the Budget Office of the Federation under the Ministry of Finance. You know, this is where credibility, transparency, we really need help analysts to actually convey all of these things to the common man. You know, because if we have not done well in implementing the capital budget in 2025, we only did 9%. How are we sure, or what is that thing that we will trust so much to explain or convince us that in 2026, we are going to implement it better? You know, so these are some of the gaps or some of the areas that requires more transparency, more explanation from the policymakers.
Okay, more explanation,
You know,
especially.
not really on the accounting legal maneuvering that we are currently working on.
Okay, maybe
because the capital budget, the capital aspect of the budget is aspect of the budget that have the greatest impact on the common man, on the development of the country that we so earnestly yearn for. And this is the area of the budget that we're also handling with a lot of less than desired convincing approach.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
That is why I talk about carryover. That carryover is not a really good good word in the academic learning environment. And if we apply to this, it also shows that something is not properly, I won't say properly, but something not too nice is happening around our budget implementation.